Name, image, and likeness was born into the NCAA circuit on July 1st, 2021, allowing collegiate athletes to monetize their NIL. The news of this deal had been spoken about for years, and for the most part, collegiate athletics has received it well.
It's definitely a great opportunity, and it's really helpful, especially for kids who maybe aren't on full scholarship. They have the opportunity to make some side money or a decent chunk of coin on their own time.
I think it's a great idea. I think that if you are going to take advantage of it, that's great, but no one's gonna hold your hand and do it for you. If you want to do that, you got to do it yourself.
Smaller sport athletes like the women on Arizona State Lacrosse unfortunately don't have the luxury of receiving those six-figure checks involving name, image, and likeness. Instead, these athletes have been forced to be a little bit creative and go outside of the box in searching for these opportunities from brand deals, and they've certainly had some fun in doing so.
Our social media, especially for a recruiting standpoint.
Being more of an ambassador as opposed to actual money check deals, it's getting products and promoting it on your social media, something like that, being more of an ambassador rather than actually making cash.
The fact of the matter is, wherever the eyes are drawn to the most, that's where the money lies. The average NCAA football NIL deal is $85,000, with men's hoops in second at still a very large $35,000. Those values are just not the same for other sports far behind.
There's not as many people following Olympic sports as there is basketball and football, so it's a little bit harder sometimes for them to get big deals. With a sport like basketball or football who have just a tremendously bigger platform, it is hard to even compare the sports, and so obviously the opportunities that we get are much less. I mean, we hear six-figure deals being signed for football almost on the daily basis, and that's obviously just not the case for lacrosse, and professionally, a very small fraction of players do get to play at that next level.
With money in play now, how will this affect the transfer portal and recruiting? Well, we didn't have to wait long to find this out at the highest level of Division I athletics in our own Pac-12 backyard. Former Oklahoma freshman quarterback Caleb Williams left his gig with the Sooners to chase an opportunity with Lincoln Riley in Los Angeles playing for USC. The NIL money LA could bring in didn't take long to confirm, as Williams has signed deals with Fanatics, Beats, and Faculty for a combined average annual value of $2.4 million. Meanwhile, the leading NCAA women's lacrosse player, Abby Bosco from Maryland, leads her sport with an average value of just over $19,000. There are certainly ways for these smaller sports to catch up, and ideas are currently being explored.
One thing I noticed is lacrosse schools are starting to do more photo shoots that the basketball players and football players do when they have recruits over. We've never done that in the past, but now they're getting to take pictures with the stick, with the jerseys. And they're getting to see the posts from a day in the life, of a freshman day in the life. We never used to do that, and now that's coming up more, which I think is interesting.
Name, image, and likeness has certainly taken the NCAA by storm, with not too much structure yet to this point in time. And these smaller Olympic sports like Arizona State Lacrosse are hoping to be a part of the expected changes that will benefit these programs for years to come involving NIL. For ASUSparky.com, I'm Matt Venezia.